Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sierra and I'm based in Auckland, New Zealand. Today I'm going to show you all of the handmade oracle decks that I created at home. For anyone that doesn't know what an oracle deck is, it is a set of cards used as a tool for self-reflection or inspiration. I personally use these cards for journaling and sometimes intention setting. I like to display the card of the day on my working desk. I love handmaking stuff so much, so I did have a lot of fun bringing these cards to life. So I will show you the first one that I ever made at home. This deck is a compilation of many of my illustrations that I have been sharing on Instagram for a few years. I printed the illustrations out on just regular paper really and laminated them at home. I used to want to publish this deck with a publisher, but the deal was cancelled and I didn't feel like continuing it. There was a time that I got into coloring. So instead, I put most of these illustrations into my two coloring books, Sacred Presence and Earthsong. You probably might recognize some of the illustration here from this deck in my coloring book, Sacred Presence. The majority of these artworks is in Sacred Presence. Actually, I'm going to show you this particular illustration. The two meditation girls. So this book is Sacred Presence, a fantasy coloring book that I published earlier in 2025. In Earthsong, I published around October 2025. Just quickly flip through some of the illustrations, some of the cards here. This deck took me probably 2 years for all of the illustrations, probably more than that. And I created these illustrations digitally on my iPad. So instead of on paper, it's pen, but on my iPad screen. And Sacred Presence have the majority of these artworks. 40 of them is in here, actually. You probably can remember this one. Yep. I think some of the free pages that I included in my freebies this year have some of these illustrations that you can download and print out and color at home if you would like to. However, this deck is the first one, and very happy that I managed to put all these artworks into the coloring books. I also got a little box for it, just from an art shop a couple of years ago. The second deck, this one is totally handmade and is another super fun personal project. It's even more hands-on than the other deck because I created this by hand from scratch using an old playing card deck. I made these from Collages. So I painted some of the papers for the background, cut out images from magazines and books. Then I stamped or some of them I wrote my own words to glue them onto these cards. There's a video on my channel that I share on how I made these cards actually. And funny, there's quite a few people email me asking to buy this deck. And I just have to tell them that it's just a personal deck, so it's not for sale. But I have a video that anyone can check out if they want to make their own. It's really easy, actually. You don't really need much. Yep, so I'm just showing you up close on how these collages come to life and become oracle cards. Many messages in this particular deck was inspired from the Tao Te Ching book that I was reading around the time. And the third deck that I ever made by hand is the Way of Tea deck. This one was also a lot more hands-on because I hand sketched and drew them with pencils and ink pen on paper, on this brown paper. And then I cut them up, laminated all the cards. Each card, I think, took me around somewhere between 1 to 3 hours to draw. So it's actually quite physical. And I was doing this every day for a long time. It's pretty hard on hand actually, and I wanted to finishing them fast as well. And some of these drawings are featured in my coloring book, The Way of Tea. This was also around the time that I got into the art of tea meditation, reading the Tao Te Ching, and really love the Way of Tea, or Cha Dao, which is the Chinese term for it. Cha is tea, Dao is the way. And all of these drawings inspired me to create my coloring book, The Way of Tea. So this deck is definitely very special to me. And I use this deck a lot when I'm sipping tea in my tea meditation, or just having tea, sometimes by myself or sometimes with friends. I'll bring this deck with me on a picnic, and my teapot, hot water, and doing some tea meditation with friends out in the park. So I definitely have a lot of fun creating and using these decks on my day-to-day life. The last one, my most recent one, is this deck from Earthsong. So in my recent coloring book that I just published, Earthsong, I added some hidden oracle cards in this book, in which we can color, cut out, and laminate. So there are 24 of them, and this month I just completed all 24 cards. I'll show you how it's like in the book. So this is what the book have left after I have cut out the cards. So those cards belong to beyond those pages. So here's a little kind of instruction page of the 24 cards in this book. And yeah, actually, I will show you a new book actually with a blank page, so you will know how these cards are in there. So I got a copy of a new copy of Earthsong here. So that is how it looked like in a brand new book. I color those in and I cut them out. Some of my friends told me that they found some laminating sheet that you don't need to use a machine for laminating them. But also they have been telling me that those sheets, they don't stay for very long. So perhaps having a laminator is still needed for this project. So I use Ohuhu alcohol markers to base all of these cards, and polychromos pencils, and sometimes Ohuhu pencil as well for details. Just flipping through some of the cards here for you to have a quick look. And I have made another video about these cards actually, if you are interested. It's on the channel. So these are all of the decks that I have made, and all the background stories around them, and about how I had an idea to create them. Pretty much just from my interest of hand making thing and my love for storytelling through lines, colors, and words. And I do journal a little bit. So using cards for journaling is my favorite way, as well as use them as reminders. And I like to just display the card of the day on my desk, or some of the cards, display them around when I'm doing some coloring. I'm sure there's more creative ways to use these cards as well. And I can't wait to see if you are making any cards from any of the coloring pages that I have, Or have you ever made any oracle cards at all? Let me know in the comment. So thank you so much for watching the video today, and I hope to see you in the next one.